There are problems, like issues that I have, like that I take umbrage with, in the decisions being made by CCP. These are not gameplay decisions, right? The things that have happened with mining in Eve specifically do not affect me. I'm not a miner, you know. I have an alt that can mine ice, and I sometimes did that, right? But I'm not like, I don't know shit about mining other than like cycle module, collect ice, sell it to the guy that wants it and knows what to do with it. And like, this is not like an original take, but you know, it's the one that I am, you know, most in line with. My issue is with the larger implications of these decisions that are being made. You're making these convoluted, complex changes to a system that nobody asked for. And once you proposed them, pretty much everybody told you that nobody wanted. And you're doing this at the expense of systems that people have asked for iteration on. People have asked for changes to industry in the sense of like building, like making ships less fucking convoluted and less costly to build, right? And people have asked for changes to mining resources, right? People have asked for all this stuff, and what is the change that CCP gives? Waste mechanics or residue mechanic or whatever the fuck, right? Like, oh yeah, we've doubled the resources of it available in every rock, but now there's this weird convoluted, you know, wastage mechanic that you have to account for in mining. Now there's things that make it more confusing than it needs to be. It's an unnecessarily complex change that nobody asked for. And it's a hill that evidently CCP are just going to die on. Like, no, we need to make mining more of a, like, choice-based activity. I don't know a single miner in EVE Online that was asking for mining to be more complex. There's also, like, other things that are just, that rub me the wrong way. Right? Like Hilmar's got a fucking huge boner for NFTs in EVE for some reason. There is not a single logical reason why NFTs need to be involved in a gameplay experience. It doesn't add anything to the experience. All it does is like it's another revenue for which CCP can take money from something, right? This idea that NFTs are going to just be like the future of gaming is really fucking insidious and really dubious. There are a lot of decisions that CCP have been making that is evidence of the direction of CCP as a development team and as a studio is no longer game development first. It's very late stage. In its like apparent thought process, right? That we are, you know, we are being subjected to a thought process in game design that comes from a money first standpoint. What can we charge for? How can we monetize this thing, right? There's not very much interest in making a good product with passion at the top. Right? I'm not talking about individual devs. I'm talking about a decision making like from an executive mandate. The issue is like, how can we monetize? How can we squeeze this, right? If you like, there's literally nothing that having NFTs in your game adds, right? And people can sit there and say like, oh, well, it doesn't matter because no one's gonna buy them, because probably no one is gonna buy the NFTs for fucking EVE kill mails. Like, I don't know, maybe people will, probably they won't, but it's indicative of a thought. Like, it's indicative of a thought process or of a way of thinking about EVE. And the way of thinking about EVE now is, how can we monetize? Not how can we make a product that people want to buy. If you make a good product, people will want to fucking buy it. You know? Look at Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, it's got its problems, but it is perceived to be a good product right now. It is perceived to be the top line product if you want to play an MMORPG. And that doesn't come from how can we squeeze the player base for every cent. You know, yeah, they have a cash shop. They do things with their cash shop that are questionable. Every company does, right? But the perception of the Final Fantasy XIV team is that they make a product that they care about, and they make something that they want to succeed and be good, not they make something that they can fucking nickel and dime the shit out of. I don't know what to do with that information. I just know that that's been what goes through my head when I think about streaming EVE. There's a thing that Brisk Ruble said on one of the rants I watched on YouTube where they were bitching about the changes. Him and Mittens were bitching about the changes. And I'm gonna heavily paraphrase because I don't remember exactly what he said. But what Brisk said was, the fact that players are making noise and protesting and like ranting and being angry is a good thing, because it means they still have passion. They still care for the game. The penultimate step is people stop caring, and then the ultimate step is people leave. They stop playing and they play something else. And it reminds me of a quote, and I can't remember who originally said it, but it reminds me of a quote that says that the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is apathy. That's what I feel when I think about EVE Online right now. I feel apathetic. I feel like I don't give a shit. I'm not going to keep streaming a game that I don't give a shit about. So I don't know what's going to change, but something's got to give.